Okay, so we've got the body sanded nice and smooth. It's now ready for a few coats of sanding sealer just to seal everything in. I've just basically hung it up here just to make my life easier. Just got a piece of wood through it, like a holly stick, so I can move it around, do whatever I need to with it. So basically I'm just going to add a few coats of sanding sealer. I'm not going to sand down in between because it's a solvent based product anyway. So when you spray a new coat over the old coat, it's going to dissolve into it. So no need to do that. Just nice thin coats, not too much, not too thick. Leave it 20 minutes to dry, come back, do another coat. I've got my sanding sealer here. It's a nitrocellulose sanding sealer. It needs a good shake. I've already shook this for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Give it a really good shake. Obviously it's quite volatile, so I use a mask when I'm doing this. So just a nice thin coat. And there we go, that's it. So I'm going to leave that for 20 minutes now, let that dry, come back, do another coat. Okay, so the body's had a coat of sanding sealer on there. It still feels pretty smooth. A few rough spots that I'll need to sand out after. But I'm going to give it another coat of sanding sealer just to make sure that it's properly sealed. Same rules as before, just a nice light coating, making sure to do the edges and stuff as well. And that's it really. Then I'm going to leave it overnight to dry before I come back and start to sand it with a bit of wet and dry. And there we go, so that's 2 coats. Just got to leave that to dry now. Okay, so we've sealed the body with a few coats of sanding sealer. It's feeling pretty smooth as it is, but it just needs a little bit of work in a few spots. There's a few rough spots on here. So what I've got is some 1200 grit wet and dry paper, sanding block, and I've also got some warm soapy water. Basically it's just warm water with a few drops of washing up liquid in there, and that'll just stop the wet and dry getting all clogged up and stuff while we're sanding the body down. Otherwise you end up going through a lot of sandpaper. So this way we should only need the one piece. So it's basically just a case of just smoothing off this sealer, just giving it a nice glassy finish, and then we can start to apply the primer over the top. So I'm just going to give it a quick rub and just smooth out all these rough spots and raises. Okay, that's feeling super smooth now. It's got a bit of soapy, dried soap residue on there, so I'm just going to get a damp cloth, just give it a quick rub over, then dry it off. Then leave it for half an hour just to fully dry. Obviously it's basically just the surface that's wet. The sanding sealer has stopped the water from getting into the wood, so it won't take long to dry. And then once we've done that, then we'll start to prime it.